The announcement by President Donald Trump to pause the deployment of federal agents to San Francisco with the directive, "Okay, I'll give you a chance," marks a significant and highly visible pivot in the ongoing tension between the federal government and Democratic-led sanctuary cities. Initially, the administration was preparing a surge of agents, reportedly including Customs and Border Protection (CBP) personnel, ostensibly to crack down on crime and illegal immigration. The sudden retraction, influenced by pleas from local political and tech leaders, transforms a looming confrontation into a high-stakes local accountability test. Summary and analysis. The issue at hand is the planned deployment of over 100 federal agents to the San Francisco Bay Area, a move that city and state officials vehemently opposed, calling it an unconstitutional overreach and a threat to civil liberties, particularly within immigrant communities. The stated goal from the federal perspective was to combat crime and ramp up immigration enforcement, issues the president frequently highlights regarding Democratic-run cities. The pause, confirmed by the president on his social media platform after speaking with Mayor Daniel Lurie and prominent Silicon Valley figures like Mark Benioff, Salesforce CEO, and Jensen Huang, Vidya CEO, is a rare instance of the administration deferring to local government wishes on an enforcement matter. The analysis suggests this is less an act of reconciliation and more a political maneuver to shift responsibility. By granting a chance, the president establishes a public metric for the city's performance on crime, positioning himself to reauthorize the deployment if the city fails to meet an unstated, often subjective, benchmark. For San Francisco, the challenge is to use this temporary reprieve to demonstrate that its current public safety strategies are effective, a claim supported by local data showing drops in major crime categories. Reasons and consequences. Reasons for the pause. The decision to pause the deployment appears driven by a combination of high-level lobbying and political pragmatism, influence of tech and business leaders. The most cited reason is the direct intervention by high-profile tech executives who urged the president to give the new mayor, Daniel Lurie, time to address the city's challenges. This highlights the substantial political influence of Silicon Valley elites on the current administration. Averting a political and legal battle. The planned deployment was met with immediate, forceful legal threats from California Governor Gavin Newsom and the state attorney general, along with widespread public protests. Pausing the action avoids a costly, distracting, and potentially unfavorable legal battle in the federal courts. Strategic repositioning. By giving a chance, the administration reframes the narrative from federal aggression to local incompetence, should crime persist, effectively placing the entire burden of proof and performance on the city's leadership. Consequences. The consequences of this pause are felt immediately in San Francisco's political and public safety spheres. Empowerment of local leadership. Mayor Lurie and other city officials receive a mandate to execute their local public safety plan without the complications of federal militarized immigration enforcement. This preserves the city's sanctuary policies and builds trust with immigrant communities, which are essential for crime reporting. Increased scrutiny. The city is now under an intense national spotlight, with its crime statistics and policy results being monitored closely by the White House. The political clock is ticking, and any perceived failure could trigger a federal re-intervention. Precedent for federal intervention. The mere threat and subsequent pause underscore the president's willingness to use federal law enforcement as a tool to pressure and confront political rivals in state and local governments, setting a precedent for future executive actions. Prediction and solutions. Prediction. The near-term prediction is a tense but active period for San Francisco. The city's crime data will be intensely scrutinized. The administration will likely use any high-profile crime incidents to justify future federal action, maintaining the threat of a surge. For the rest of the country, this event reinforces the president's alignment with the pro-business and pro-law enforcement wings of the political spectrum, and signals that business leaders can act as effective intermediaries in political conflicts. The deployment remains a contingency plan, not a canceled one. Solutions to navigate this political challenge while improving public safety. San Francisco should pursue the following solutions. 1. Hyper-transparent crime reporting. The city should establish an undeniable public dashboard of key crime metrics, homicides, property crime, drug arrests, etc., updated in real time. This preempts federal criticism by establishing objective data points. 2. Focus on joint federal-local operations, non-immigration. Lurie expressed willingness to partner with federal agencies like the DEA and FBI on drug trafficking, particularly fentanyl. Focusing on this common ground provides a productive outlet for federal involvement without compromising sanctuary city values. 3. Mobilization of tech civic resources. The tech community that lobbied for the pause should follow through with resources. Funding for community safety ambassadors, data-driven analysis of crime hotspots, and support for addiction treatment services to demonstrate that private sector commitment is a sustainable alternative to federal deployment. Codify sanctuary policies. Local leaders should explore ways to legally strengthen local ordinances that restrict city agency cooperation with federal immigration enforcement to solidify their legal position should the deployment threat return. The pause offers us a window, but the true test lies in the city's ability to capitalize on this opportunity to prove that local governance can effectively manage urban challenges.